The evening air was cool and soft as the man walked slowly through the quiet park, his footsteps barely disturbing the fallen leaves. He felt a familiar ache of loneliness, the kind that settled deep in the chest, but tonight the park seemed even emptier than usual. As he passed under a large oak tree, a small rustling sound caught his attention. Curious, he approached and discovered a tiny dog, shivering under a wooden bench. Its fur was matted, and its eyes were wide with fear, yet when their gazes met, there was an unspoken understanding. The man knelt gently and extended his coat toward the trembling creature. Tentatively, the dog inched closer, sniffing the warm fabric, and then, as if sensing safety, curled up against him. For a long while, they simply sat together in the stillness, the quiet night embracing them both. Stars sparkled above, but it was the soft rise and fall of the dog's breathing against his side that made the man feel a warmth he hadn't known in years. As they made their way home, the man felt a gentle tug at his heart, realizing that this small, frightened creature had brought light into his quiet world. That night they lay side by side, the dog resting its head on his chest, and he felt a sense of peace wash over him. For the first time in a long time, he drifted into sleep not alone, but with a gentle, living heartbeat next to him, and the quiet companionship filled the empty spaces in both of them. Morning light spilled softly through the curtains, painting the room in warm, golden hues. The man reached down and gently patted the dog awake, feeling the soft fur under his hand. The little dog stretched and yawned, then nudged him with its nose, eager to start the day. Together, they stepped outside into the crisp morning air, the park still quiet, except for the occasional chirping of birds. Every step was a shared rhythm pause on the path, shoes on the gravel, hearts moving in unison. They wandered among the trees, the dog sniffing at flowers and chasing fleeting shadows, while the man watched with a quiet smile, feeling lighter than he had in years. Occasionally, the dog would stop and look back, as if to make sure the man was following, and he would laugh softly, feeling the warmth of trust and companionship. Time seemed to slow, and every moment felt precious: the rustle of leaves, the whisper of the wind, the simple joy of being together. As the sun began to dip toward the horizon, they returned home, tired but content, the quiet of evening wrapping around them. The dog curled up by his feet, and the man sat back, feeling a peaceful fullness in his chest. In the shared stillness, they both knew that happiness could be found not in grand adventures, but in these simple, gentle moments of togetherness. Rain tapped softly against the window, a steady, soothing rhythm that filled the quiet room. The man and his dog sat together on the wide windowsill, watching the droplets race each other down the glass. Outside, the world seemed gray and restless, but inside there was warmth, safety, and the gentle comfort of being together. The man brewed a small cup of tea, the aroma curling through the room, while the dog rested its head on his knee, eyes half closed in contentment. Occasionally, the dog lifted its ears at the sound of distant thunder, and the man would stroke its fur reassuringly, whispering soft words that seemed to carry away any trace of worry. The rain continued, drumming a calm lullaby that wrapped the room in quiet peace. Even as the clouds pressed low and the wind rustled the trees, the man and his dog felt untouchable, protected by the simple joy of each other's presence. When the storm finally passed, the air outside was fresh, washed clean, carrying the faint scent of earth and leaves. Inside, the man smiled as the dog stretched lazily and settled back down, the room still warm and bright with shared comfort. In that quiet moment, they both understood that no matter how stormy the world might be, together they could always find a haven of calm and love. One sunny afternoon, the man and his dog set out for their usual walk through the park. The air was warm, and the scent of blooming flowers drifted gently around them. The dog, full of playful energy, bounded ahead, chasing a butterfly that flitted just out of reach. The man chuckled and called softly, but the dog was too caught up in the joy of the chase to hear. He hurried to keep up, feeling a brief pang of worry, but before long the little dog had disappeared from view. Panic threatened to rise, and his heart beat faster as he called the dog's name again and again, scanning every tree and bush. Then, from the top of a small hill, came a joyful bark. The man looked up to see his dog trotting back toward him, muddy paws and bright eyes sparkling with happiness, as if to say, "I'm home always." Relief washed over him, and he laughed softly, scooping the dog into his arms for a moment of tender reunion. Together, they continued their walk slowly, savoring the simple pleasure of being side by side. By the time they returned home, the sun had dipped low in the sky, casting a golden glow through the windows. The dog curled up at his feet, and the man felt a deep, quiet happiness settle in his chest, knowing that no matter what little adventures or misadventures might come their way, they would always find their way back to each other. That night they slept peacefully, hearts linked in trust and love, ready to face a new day together.